What it do? What it do? You're tuned into Up Next with Rob Dollars. And I'm here to holler at you about a little bit of sports, social commentary, and of course, whatever comes with that. Uh, and right now, you're about to feel me on one of my segments I like to call Right Back at You, where I holler at my man, Nick Wright. Nick, salute to you. He's a hard-working sports analyst. Love his podcast, What's Right with Nick Wright. Check it out if you haven't. He's also on FS1's First Things First. Shout out Kevin Wiles. Bostonians love you. Just stay a little bit consistent, bro. Stay consistent. Stay strong. All right. This Tuesday, Nick dropped an episode, and I want to give him a little bit of my feedback. Um, First off, he was acting a little surprised about LeBron bringing up retirement in his post-game interview. He's a highly emotional player. I don't know why you're surprised by that. He is in, as you know, and have said repeatedly, in his 20th NBA season. How many more years you think he's gonna be before he's gonna say, it is almost that time. I mean, we already know the timeline. He's only trying to be here to play with Bronny a year if possible, right? Like make his story and his legacy unique. That's what he's about. And I don't really know that it should be shocking to anyone that he would bring up retirement in his post game interview, especially after a very emotional loss like that. He poured his heart into game one. You saw him when he left the court, and he was very dejected because he knew he had put in maximum effort into that attempt, and it didn't meet the goal that he had set. And the same thing happened in game four. He didn't want to go out no sweep. He put everything he had into that game, but it just wasn't enough to get past Denver. So, again, surprised that he was emotional in that moment and said that. Not even a little bit. And I don't think anyone should be. Um, I do like the energy breakdown that he gave. LeBron poured so much into the first half. Of course, he had nothing left in the second. I mean, he's one human being. They're playing a team sport. They're going to be throwing multiple bodies at him. Yeah, he's going to run out of gas because he doesn't know how to manage the game properly. That's one of his ultimate flaws, which I'll talk a little bit more about the ultimate LeBron flaws, but that's one of them. And again, but the energy breakdown is realistic. No one should expect that after he drops 31 in the first half, he's going to drop 20 in the second half. I mean, it's just like one of those things that doesn't normally happen. So it would have been an extremely special day had LeBron gone out, obviously, and dropped 50 on sets. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it didn't happen. So, um, the next thing that I think people have been getting into, and Nick has as well, is AD. And trying to say, where's AD? Where's AD? Listen, stop it. I've heard it said multiple times. I've heard people deny it and then really see the results of it working and say, oh, I guess it's true. AD does what LeBron allows him to do. LeBron has to force feed AD if he wants AD to drop 40 a night because he's going to be the one controlling the ball because the AD has no level of earned authority where he can say, give me the damn ball to LeBron James. That's just not a thing. It's not a thing. It's not going to happen. Everybody should just be realistic about that. And again, LeBron, he has to see that and he has to feed his man. He has to be responsible for that aspect of AD and success for the team because, again, Anthony Davis is not, it recognizes the GOAT. He's not going to try to, oh man, you're not giving me my touches. We would start calling him a whiner. You want to go from insulting him about not producing to insulting him about how he talks back to LeBron. Like that's just putting him in a bad position. So no, I'm not ready to keep pouncing on AD. Early in the season, I did agree that he needed to be featured more, that he needs to be the factor, that LeBron's supposed to be kind of his wingman, really, elevating him, and it hasn't been working out that way. They haven't been sticking to the philosophy if they want that to really work. So, AD did what he's gonna do. There are question marks on him. it's just a bad experiment, to be honest with you, in my opinion. But they just won't let go of the idea. They're locked into it with the whole contracts, I guess, as well as, again, just the affinity between LeBron and AD seems to be there. But I don't know. I don't know. Nick also brought up the idea, which I have not thought of myself, of LeBron just taking a year off. If he really wants to play with Bronny, if Bronny's cool with that idea as well, which is a major thing I have here, that being spoken about more, I think that needs to really be investigated. Does Bronny really want to play with his father? Is that something he wants as part of his legacy if he's making it into the league? Because would it be his only actual achievement? People have set the bar really high. This is LeBron's child. It's a lot of pressure. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's a thing or not, but taking a year off is something I think actually makes sense for a player who's at his age. Listen, if you're under 35 and you're taking a year off, you're trash. It's already bad enough what they do with time management and load management is garbage in today's NBA. People pay their tickets to come see these guys play. They need to be on the floor. Now, again, injuries are injuries, but teams need to pay accordingly. Don't keep paying over the top 25 plus million to guys who can't play more than, 20% of the season. That's just ridiculous. Don't buy into the hype that you yourselves are selling. Figure it out. There are plenty of players in the league who do have the talent, who have the durability, who are on the floor every night. Elevate those guys, man. Elevate those guys. I get it. They weren't the quintessential guy coming out of the draft, they're coming out of college that you want and like to promote. These guys have made it to the league. They've worked hard. Show them some love, man. Anyway, let me stop digressing. But again, LeBron taking a year off to potentially preserve his body, refresh himself, and then come back that next year, I think it makes sense, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, like I said, Zion is way younger. He's taken 2 years off basically at this point. Look, Kawhi Leonard's way younger. He's taking multiple years off now. Why can't LeBron take a year off? I don't see anything that would be terribly horrible about LeBron taking a year off. That's actually very cool. I'm not going to talk LA team moves. There's a lot of that coming from Nick early already. I hear a lot of other people talk about certain players and moves, Dame, you know what I'm saying, Beal, a few other people. I'm not even going to talk about moves at this time. Not even interested. It's too early. I'm still tied up in what's going on right now. We got a great finals coming our way. Whoever comes out of the Heat Celtics thing is going to be a dogfight for Denver when they meet them in the finals. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not going to talk future moves at this time. I also want to say to Nick, I do appreciate, but there's a contrast with regards to Jokic. He did win 2 MVPs, and he hadn't taken his team anywhere in the playoffs that I thought merited him being looked at as truly that great of a player. Having said that, I do respect his game highly. And this year, you're right, he's proven it. He's proven that the MVPs were appropriate. So, I do have to agree with him. It's a regular season award, but if you're the MVP of the regular season, I expect that means you elevated your team into the playoffs and that you guys are prepared to start making runs towards being a contender. You can't be the best guy in the league, the best guy, and your team is just riding dead. You know what I'm saying? So again, Jokic is proven that he's worthy of those 2 MVPs with this run, where he has taken on really good competition and prevailed. So again, that team is deep, but he's the man on that team. He's the man. Jokic, you got that. Before I move on to the Celtics comments that he made, that Nick has made. I want to talk LeBron flaws because Nick, you're a huge LeBron lover. It's very, very prevalent in everything that you do. Luka, LeBron, you just can't help yourself. You just can't. It's not possible. You've been brainwashed. Chemically induced things happen when their names come up, and you just fall all over yourself. It is almost as if you're related to him. It's really scary. Anyway, LeBron has two major flaws. I've talked about him since he's been very young, since he went back to Cleveland. I've talked about LeBron's major flaws. He has two major game flaws as a player that I think really hurt him in terms of his success. There's where LeBron can be, and then there's LeBron where he is. And people like to act like he's where he can be when he is where he is. So he's great. There is no question. Like, we're all in the realm of greatness. I'm not dismissing LeBron. He's in the realm of greatness. There is no question about that. But there are two skills that he lacks as a great over-the-top player, and that is the ability to read the flow of the game. He doesn't do it well. He can dominate, and he has court vision, so he can pass. But he doesn't know how to read the flow of the game in terms of, like, you start a game and you just kind of going with the flow a little bit. You make a couple baskets when they're available. You see people who are open, you hit them. Now, if somebody gets hot early, you feed them. But if your guys aren't hitting those shots when you're kicking it to them, at some point you got to recognize and you go, I'm taking over. And you go and you drop 3 baskets in a row. Boom, 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 boom. You make the defense tighten up on you. Then you feed your guys again and see if they can start hitting. They miss a couple more in a row. You go back and you say, all right, well, no, give me the ball again. And you go hit 2, 3, 4 more baskets in a row. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? And then you can, you know what I'm saying, again, figure out who's hot, who's not, when and where you're supposed to explode versus you can take a couple plays off. Because yesterday, when he was playing not yesterday, excuse me, Monday, when he was playing that game and he dropped them 31 points in the first half, you saw that he did not manage his energy level at all. He didn't. He just went full force. And he's got to be able to instead, in the second half, he was taking multiple plays off during bad points in the game for the Lakers. They were not hitting, but he was not engaged because he was tired. And so you see him standing in one spot on the offensive side of the floor, and it's terrible for the Lakers. You can't do that. So again, he doesn't actually read the game, in my opinion, at a level that puts him at the heights that people want to put him at. If he did that, then he'd be there, but he's not. Which is why he's been to 10 finals, but he's won 4. You can't, you know what I'm saying, be like, oh, but he went to 10. Yes, he did. It is an accomplishment. It is a great accomplishment to go to the finals. But ask him about it. I bet you he knows, and he'll tell you the goal is to win, not to get there. So, again, we give him some claim and some credit. He gets accolades. He's been to 10 championships. That's a feat all by itself. But let's be calm and recognize he only won 4 of them, okay? 4. That's less than 50%. 4. Don't act like you put them on the team and they win a championship. No, they don't. 4, okay? Calm down. And the other reason why LeBron has not won more of those other than reading the floor of the game, because again, that is a challenging thing. I don't want to say it like it's nothing. It's hard to be in the game and read the game. So that's when coaching comes into effect. And LeBron doesn't like to be coached. That's a problem. You are not able to see everything that's happening live in the game when you're in the game, which is why coaching matters. LeBron doesn't even want to take a seat for a few minutes to preserve some of that energy because he's like, don't take me off the floor. He needs to be coached. There are times when he's like, give me the damn ball. And it's like, bro, you need to share the ball right now. You need to play off ball. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm going to bring the ball up. Like, no, let your point guard be a point guard. Like, he doesn't like to be coached, and that's a major issue. He was in Miami, had a real coach, a real GM to support the coach, and what happened? 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row trips to the finals. Boop, 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 boop. Because you had someone saying, take a seat. You had someone saying, see what's happening for a minute. All right, now go back in there and tear it up. Like, he was being coached, and he found his ultimate success. Then he goes back to Cleveland because he's got a little power couple thing, and he's had a bromance back in Miami, so he knows how to use the bromance system a little bit, and he tries to make something happen in Cleveland, which he does. Congratulations to him for bringing a championship to his city. That, I think, is the biggest feather in his cap as far as his legacy goes in the story of LeBron. He went back home and brought them a chip. Salute to him for that. But he's got some things in his career and his character that have stunted where he could be in his career as far as legacy. He could already have surpassed Jordan without anyone having any questions about it, except he won't be coached. It's a problem. Oh, it's a problem. Now, last but not least, I'm going to talk about the Celtics breakdown. Nick spoke on, and again, I have to salute Nick. Great analysis here. I definitely agree full-heartedly. Coaching has become a major issue for the Boston Celtics. We have all the talent that we need on this team. We don't need more people. We don't need to trade anybody. We have the right chemistry. We just don't have the right coach right now. I'm recording this after we played game 4 in Miami and staved off the sweep. Thank goodness for that. But you see the coaching change, and you see the attitude change towards with coaching from the first 3 games to this game. Biggest impact, putting Rob Williams on the floor. I don't know what's happened to Joe Mazzulla. I don't know who told him that Al Horford was so much better or not to play Rob. I don't know what happened, but I know that he shorted us because we made sure to keep Rob healthy all regular season so that when the playoffs came, we would have him in the lineup. And Joe Mazzulla has mysteriously forgotten that that's why we worked so hard to keep him healthy. And he's been leaving him on the bench way too long. You know, I don't understand where his head is in terms of these lineups that he's putting in, his awareness of the game flow, like call timeouts. It's been such a thing from the beginning of the playoffs. He has definitely needed to and hasn't taken the time. He finally did it in game 4. There were a couple of times when there were little runs or things were getting out of sync. He called a timeout, and we come back on the floor and things be right back to where we want them to be. And I'm like, finally you learned. It took all of these playoffs to get to the point where you know how to call timeouts when you see the other team want to run. Scary, man. Very scary. The coaching problem is real. Now, Mazzulla is young, and maybe we do need to just give him time. But we have this window of opportunity with these 2 young stars, and I don't know how much time we can give Joe Mazzulla to grow up as a coach. But again, I do wish him luck. I want the franchise to do well. I do want them to have stability because we've changed coaches now with this tandem too many times. I think they're on their 3rd coach or 4th coach or something like that. And we need to make sure that this opportunity that Boston has here with these 2 young stars, that we take advantage of it. And I say 2 young stars, but Rob Williams is quickly on his way to becoming a star. I do really like Marcus Smart. He's an all-star. And again, we'll see what other pieces come together. Brogdon's been a magnificent fit-in. You know, I love to see if we can get Gallinari on the floor. That would really increase our shooting. You know, if you get Tatum, Brown, and then either Smart, Gallinari, Brogdon, Pritchard, you know what I'm saying, Grant, Williams, you know, any of those guys on the floor. Plus you put Rob Williams on the floor or Al Horford on the floor. So we have size, we've got defense, rim protection, like and an inside presence. I really believe our team has the right pieces. So, you know, I hope that the media scrutiny that Jalen has endured with regards to trade rumors. Doesn't scare him away from the team. Hope the team makes him a great offer. I know we can't offer him more than anyone else can, so he's deserving. I hope he gets it. But coaching matters. The breakdown is sincere. Jalen, stay with us. Listen, Jay, we ain't been trying to offer you up like that. There have been real names and talent out there, and you need to respect that your name has come up next to those names. Your name has come up next to James Harden. Your name has come up next to Kevin Durant. Your name's not coming up next to, you know what I'm saying, Pat Beverly. You know what I'm saying? So relax. You're doing great. You're amazing. We want you here as fans. Don't think twice about that. But you know what I'm saying. But the NBA is a business. When they hear those things going on out there, the Celtics have to, at least respond. I would prefer that they. Let me be clear. I'd prefer that they occasionally dangle Jason Tatum, dangle that out there a little bit more than you do my dude JB. Okay, because he's consistent. He's with you from first quarter to fourth quarter. While JT, I gotta ask you for more consistency. You're out here, and sometimes you might appear in the first half, but you got that rep as fourth quarter king for a reason. It's because that's when you like to show up. Please do show up in the fourth quarter if JB's with you, because he'll cover you for the other three quarters. But if it's being real, we want you in the whole game. And I need to see you step up as well. This whole media drive where they love the light-skinned cat is starting to get on my nerves. JB, we love you, bro. Stay on the squad. Let's go Celtics. And that's the end of this segment. Salute.